Hey guys, this is Jeff, 10th Avenue North. I play the old guitar on stage. Over the years I've gotten a lot of, hey, what do you use on your board? What kind of guitars do you play? What amps? And so I thought I'd take this moment while they're setting up the stage to walk you through what's going on. This is my world. This is what I use every day, so come on. Start over here with the amplification. I've been using these guys for about the last 6 months and pretty stoked. They're Tyler amps. This is the PT14. This is like a Princeton, a Fender Princeton styled amp, and this is the Tyler amps 2020, which I'm not sure what amp it's modeled after, but it sounds incredible. Both amps are, I just run them clean, full and clean. If you look at my volume knob on the 2020, I think it's not, we put a little mark right before the 1, it's not even on 1. It breaks up easy, but I mean it sounds so huge, quiet. I like to run my amps as clean as possible right before they break up, so yeah, they're incredible amps made by Tyler amps, and I love them. For guitars, basically this is Mike's. This is Bluesman vintage handmade guitars in Tennessee. Fantastic, fully customizable. It's basically you take off a Gibson single coil. You know, he doesn't do a lot of switching and tone messing with, so this thing sounds incredible. We went to Guitar Center actually and found it, and it beat out all the new Les Pauls and all the new 335s and everything. Just sounded incredible. So we grabbed it, teamed up with him, which I'll go to this one next because this is also a Bluesman vintage. He made this for me. It's a Jazz Master styled, but basically, you know, a better setup, better pickups, better bridge, saddle, fully customizable. I love it. It sounds incredible. My main guitar is this Duesenberg that I've had for, golly, probably 8 years, I'd say, and Star Player TV, incredible. Never played a better sounding or feeling guitar. And then the backup guitar, which I had used for years as an alternate tuning guitar, is this PRS Starla, which is another amazing guitar. And this typically is tuned down a half step, but anymore we've been using it as a backup because we brought a couple songs up in key. So anyway, that's the rig. We won't talk about the bass player's bass, but all right. So we'll go over to the board. First of all, I go through this a Shure wireless device, running into the board here. It's going underneath. This is a Blackbird pedal board. So the input goes here, and underneath I have it routed from here, going up through that little port, grommet, whatever it's called, into this Hilton effects, what is this? Hilton Pro Guitar volume pedal. The guy makes them, hand makes them. I think they're geared more towards pedal steel players, but it doesn't have a pot, so there's no string like in the Ernie Ball stuff. There's no pot, so no scratches. And I've gone through so many of those Ernie Balls. I think I have like 5 broken ones at home, and so I finally just paid the $1 for this thing, and it hasn't failed me since. It's also got a buffer knob on the side here, and so we go out to the Polytune tuner, no big deal there. Exotic Effects EP booster adds a really nice shimmer to it, to my signal, and I just run it here. It's just clean, gives me a little boost. To the GigRig Quartermaster, which is just a bypass looper. First stage goes to the Exotic Effects SB compressor. Second stage goes up to my first overdrive, which is the Rook Royale made by Mojo Hand Effects. Sounds great. It's got a solo boost. I don't engage that typically unless I'm having some ear level issue on stage. But the heavy boost, stage 3, is the JHS modded blues driver, which is the huge saturated sound, which I use for solo leads or super thick chunking. Stage 4 will get thrown to this Moog MF delay, which is cool. I just added as like a tail to a note to just keep recycling over and over extra long delay effects. And then eventually it just goes to the stratosphere and just keeps giving this crazy sound. You know that effect. So that's what I use this for. Probably only twice a show though, but so for the first line of delay action, I go to the El Capistan by Strymon. It's just, what is this, a tape echo. And it's just simple, man. I had an Eventide time factor, but we change our sets so often, the presets became a nuisance. And if I just tap in the tempo, I usually only use quarter note delay, so this serves the purpose great, and it's stereo, and I can save a favorite switch that I made that basically I think the mix is up and the repeats is up. So for the long washier stuff, I have that preset saved. From there, it goes into the Strymon Blue Sky reverb. So you can see it's kind of dirty with some tape. I've had this for a while, but super awesome reverb. You know about this thing. Has a favorite switch for that crazy shimmery, longer decay. So I love this pedal. I've had a couple delay reverbs, and it's just it sounds the best. So from there, that's where it gets complicated. One side goes this Boss DD3 old school delay, which basically is 100% wet, and it's like maybe, I don't know, I want to say 6 to 8 milliseconds delayed. So basically I run in stereo, and if you run in stereo, it's right here unless you have two separate signals going with the delay. So what this thing does is that it delays one side, so it kind of tricks you into believing that the stereo field is widened because one side is delayed. And then front of house says they don't get any phase issues. I don't hear any phase issues in my head, so I've been using it for a long time just to widen that sound. For the longest time we didn't have a keyboardist or a piano player, so I had to cover a lot of sonic ground, and so it was really helpful then. So that's just a trick, you know, I've used for about 8 years to delay one side. So that's, one goes there, the other side, well, after one side goes there, they both are going underneath here to that grommet. And it's coming here through the Leo P split, which is an awesome tool if you're running 2 amps to get rid of any grounding and phasing issues. Basically the transformer in there will disconnect the ground, sort of. It'll float the ground essentially, but it's still grounded so you don't die. But you get rid of the buzzing issues that is caused by running 2 amps. They both, one side goes there, both of them go through this buffer, stereo buffer, out A and B. And while we're under here, we got GigRig Power, highly recommended. It's a little pricey, but basically you can see here's a Time Lord, isolator, distributor. It's all upside down right now, but basically each pedal has its own dedicated isolation, and so little ghetto setup here with the tape. I had it glued in there, but it'd come out, so this is just temporary. But yeah, they give you a generator to power everything, but then the power goes from here to here, and then they each go to here, and then one goes there and there, and basically each pedal has its own specific voltage and milliamps and whatever, so they have like a big map of, I've got this pedal, so you know, isolated with this, and just super clean power. I've never had a cleaner rig sound because of that, so highly recommend it. And so this is where it gets fun. So basically, yeah, stereo out of there, 3 amps. Might come with 57s, no big deal. Front of house, you got a great front of house engineer. You don't have to get all crazy with, you know, trying to make your sound awesome, because they can't make it awesome out there, then what's the point? So this is where it's fun. I have this little setup we called Elf World. That might have taken me.
Yeah. Can you text Jared and ask him what time he's going to be here?
We got a microphone with Elf on there. And so basically I sing through this. We did a lot of crazy vocal effects on our record, and we just called them elf noises. So this is called Elf World. Go through little vocal tuner, just for a little, you know, a little support, or you can whack out the sounds and get the T-Pain thing going on. But I got a gate just so when I'm not using it, I don't get a bunch of sounds I don't want coming from the amps in the stage. But basically, it's just an overdrive pedal, so it's kind of distorted. Got a delay sound, and then a Hall of Fame reverb into this little DI box. I just downsized it to these little micro-sized pedals, but just for some delay and reverb, cool sounds. Because on the record, a lot of it was singing through my pedal board, so I had the amp sound and the delays and reverbs. So why don't I use one of those all-in-one Line 6 pedals or whatever while I'm doing this? Sometimes I like to just tweak parameters and change stuff on the fly, so getting into all those little menus is a bit complicated. And yeah, saving the preset, sometimes, I don't know, the vibe on stage, just I need to change the amount of reverb a little bit here, a little bit there, so I just prefer it this way. So that's the rig. I hope any of you guitar nerds out there can appreciate it, but I just keep it simple. Sometimes I get made fun of on tour because I'm the guy that's had the same gear for for years because I don't change it up. But you know, if it works, it works. I'd rather perfect what I am familiar with than try to just grab the newest thing and then just keep swapping out and burning money. And so anyway, hope that helps. Peace.
Hear you now.